Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Today we're going to try a new type of puzzle for the channel, a puzzle called Japanese Sums. We've had this requested a lot. I'll talk about the rules of the puzzle in a moment. Just to mention that our Sandwich Sudoku game is now released. So thanks very much to all those of you who've bought the game and for all the positive comments you've been sending us. We're really delighted. Also to let you know, some of you have been requesting that we add features to it, like ability to restore user defaults with the click of a button, or number pad input, variety of things. Anyway, though, we'll be releasing a new build, probably be next week, that'll address some of those requests. So look out for that. And those of you who are begging for the Android version, it is on its way. It's days away. It's no longer than that. So yeah, please be patient, and as soon as it's up and running, I will let you know. Now, Japanese Sums. This is a very it's a very interesting puzzle. We get a lot of requests actually on the channel to do pick-a-mix puzzles or nonograms, and Japanese Sums is sort of a more advanced version of that. So let's read the rules here. This is for a 1 to 9 puzzle, i.e. you have to enter in digits from 1 to 9 in the rows and the columns. So place the digits 1 to 9 in some of the cells so that no digit is repeated in any row or column. Well, that sounds a bit Sudoku-esque so far. Numbers on the outside of the grid indicate the sums of adjacent digit groups in that row or column in order. Each sum is separated by at least one unused cell. So you can see that what you have to do is to sort of place black cells into the grid in such a way that you allow all of these sums to work. So if we just have a look at row 1, 8 is this, obviously 3 plus 5 equals 8. That has to be separated from the 16 sum, which in this instance is made up of 9, 2, 1 and 4. So note, you do not have to use all of the numbers. Unlike Sudoku, this is a sort of selection problem. Now, one of the puzzles we got sent loads of these requested. This one looked to me to be more bite-sized. Some of the ones we've been sent are enormous puzzles, and I think that they would be very, very long videos, and I'm perfectly prepared to make a very long video solving one of these, but really only if we get a bit of positive feedback. So let's try this one today, and if you like it, then we can do more of them. I think this puzzle was by the amazing puzzle setter Serkan Yurekli, who is, he regularly sets for all of the World Championship level type things, as well as being a puzzle setter for gmpuzzles.com. You can see this is a 1 to 5 puzzle, so the only digits we're using to enter into this grid here are the numbers 1 to 5. Other things to note that I can see here is it's a 7 by 7 grid. So let's think about how we would solve this. If you want to try it, obviously click on the link under the video. That'll take you to our software and you can have a go. Now, there are a few tips to bear in mind about Japanese Sums puzzles. Let's run through those. First tip is to make a note of the sum of the digits that are available. So 1 to 5, obviously that sums to 15. So rows and columns that get close to the sum 15, or actually equal to it, are the most restricted, and we need to pay special attention to those. Also, I find it very helpful to mark cells, not only the black cells obviously, but also cells that must contain a digit. So a bit like with Sandwich Sudoku, where we need to make a note of where the 1s and 9s cannot go, here we need to make a note of where the black cells cannot go. So definitely do try and do that. Now, so let's try and apply that logic here. So we've got a 7 and a 6 in this row here, so that's got to be 7 and 6 add to 13, so it's missing the 2. So we know that somewhere in this row there's going to be 4 digits, the numbers 1, 3, 4 and 5, and 3 black cells. So difficult to see how to do anything with that. Got a repeated 3 in this row. So obviously one of these 3s could be a real, just a natural 3, and the other 3 is going to have to be a 1 and a 2. So this row is made up of 1, 2, 3 and 5. Again, 4 digits, 3 black squares. Again, I can't see how to do anything with that. 12 here. 12 could be 3, 4 and 5, that's 3 digits, or it could be 1, 2, 4 and 5, that's 4 digits. So, no, that's not going to be terribly good. I can't even work out, you know, a definite square here that must be a number. I should have known with the Serkan Yurekli puzzle, actually, that maybe this wasn't going to be a complete walk in the park, and maybe it's not quite as bite-sized as I was hoping. Right, okay, so I've got a 7 and an 8 here. So there's 7 and 8 adds to 15. So this column contains all 5 digits. So it's got 5 digits in it and 2 black squares. Now 7 could be 3 and 4, or could be 1, 2 and 4. So the 7 is either 2 or 3 digits. And therefore the 8 is either 2 or 3 digits. Right, okay, and there at least I can get, so this square, can this square be a black square? That's the first question. And the answer is no, because if this square is black, this square would also have to be black, because we can't put 7 into this puzzle, because it only contains the numbers 1 to 5. So we'd have both these squares being black, and now I cannot fill these squares with the remaining numbers and separate them. Obviously there needs to be a black square between the 7 sum and the 8 sum. That does not work. So this square is, I'll use green to represent a square where a number must go, and by symmetry this square is green as well. Right, okay. Now this square is interesting. Can this square be a green square? Now if this square is a green square, let's look at it. It's either on its own, in which case it would have to be the number 5, which breaks column 1, because column 1 only has 4 in it, or it would have to be 2 cells. But the moment it's 2 cells, actually it's 3 cells because of the green square here. Now 3 squares, even if we put the numbers 1, 2 and 3 into them, would give us 6, not 5. So this square is not green, this square must be black. And that's enough, I think, to constrain this row, because now, can we extend this green square to the right? Could this square be green? Well, if this square is green, we put a black square here, and we'd have to put a 3 and a 2 into these 2 squares, separated by a black square. Clearly not possible. So this square is black. This square could be a 5 on its own, or could be a 2-digit 5, we don't know. But we do know that we need to put 3 and 2 into these 3 squares. So we get our first digit in the grid. That must be like that. This square must be black. 11 cannot be 1 square, so that square must be black. And 10 must be 3 digits at least, because 5 and 4 add to 9. So this square must be green, at least. And similarly 12, same reason, those 2 squares must be green. Now we can use this row. Look, we've got 6, 2 and 4. So this square cannot be green, because that would connect 3 green squares together. We know that's a minimum of 6. We need an exact 4, so this must be a 4, which means this square is black. This square now can only be 2, because we know it's green. That's the critical thing. If we know it's green, it must be 2. So 2 here, this square is black. 2, 4. So, right, so this isn't 2, This isn't 3, 4, 5 now to make the 12. This is 1, 2, 5, 4, which means this square is green. Possibly this square is green as well, but definitely these two squares must be black. The 10, 2, 3. This could be 5. This could be 1, 4. Okay. Oops. But the 10 could only be a maximum of 4 digits. So if it was 3, 2, 1, 4, these two squares would also still have to be black. 11 must be 3 digits. I think that's right. Yes, that's right. So these two squares must be green, and therefore, look, we've got a 3 here. So this square is a 3. Now, hang on. That means that if we try and make 11 3 cells large with a 3 in it, that just does not work, because we need 2 other digits to sum to 8 without using another 3. So in fact the 11 is 4 digits. That's good. That is good. Okay, so this is 1, 2 and 5, which fits this 5 here. It looks like I haven't made an error there. Those two squares must be 1 and 2. Now this 3, these two squares must be 1 and 2. Black here, this square is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 1. This could be black, couldn't it? 10, no, this 10 is a single thing, so this is a 5. This square must be black, and this must be a 5. Oh, no. This square must be a 5 now. That one must be a black square. Now look, we don't actually know what this... We don't know what this row sums to. But we can work it out, because we know what all the columns sum to, therefore we know what all the numbers in the grid sum to. So if I deduct from the column totals all of these row totals, I will get the total for this row. I should have probably spotted that much earlier, sorry. So let's add these up. 15, 30, 39, 72. So 72 minus 65. So that gives us 7. So this is 7 in this row. But I don't know whether... Well, actually, I do know something, because this square is part of a 9. Well, it can't be part of a 9. So this 7, actually, so I need a 2 in one of those squares. And look, yes, okay, so this 4 now, I can't put a 2 here, because that breaks column 1. So this square is black, and there must be a 2 in one of these two squares. But if I put a 2 in this square would have to be a 3. And that breaks column 2, where we already have a 3. So this square is not 2, this square is 2. So the 7 now is either 1, 4, or it's a 5 here. 5 here would work, look. Okay. Right, so I need to work out what comes next. So this 6 here we've already got 2 and a 4 here, so it can't be 1, 2 and 3, so it can't be a 3-digit 6. And if it's a 2-digit 6, it must be 1 and 5. Therefore, this square must be green, which that's still working with this 5 here. So make these two green. That's affecting my OCD. So if this 7 was 1, 2 and 4, that would mean that this square would have to be a 1 and this would be a 4 because of the 4 here, but that's going to break. Let me show you why. Because now look at this 5, I have to put a 1 here, And look, this 5 means I have to put a 4 here. So this sort of becomes a circle of 1s and 4s and breaks because there's already a 4 in column and row 3. So that therefore means that this 7 is a 2-digit 7 and this is 5. And therefore that square must be black as well. These two squares are 1 and 5. We knew that anyway, but we now know that this square is green, which we didn't know before. And now the 4, we can't obviously put 5 into here because that's going to break our 4 total. So this becomes 1, this becomes 5, this becomes 3. All of these squares must be black, and so must this one. One of these two squares is a 5 because of the, obviously we can't have 1, 4 or 2, 3, and we already have a 5 there. So this, oh, whoopsie, this square here must be a 5, and this square must be black. So this square is green. It could be a 4, or it could be the case that both of these squares are green. Definitely not this square. This square is black square. This 7, it can't be 1, 2 and 4 because we've already got a 1 here. So it must be a 2-digit 7 that doesn't use a 5. So this is 3 and 4, which means this square is green, and this square is a 3 or a 4. Now we know that this 8 total is, well, we know this column uses all the digits, so this square is green here, obviously. This 6 total means this square is green. This can't be a 3-digit 6 because of the 3 already here, so this square is black, and that finishes it off, doesn't it? Because now we know this is a 4, this is a 3, this square here must be black. This must be 1 and 4 into these two squares. We know that this sums to 6, so this must be 2 or 5. And this sums to 6, so now this must be the opposite of that. This must be 1 and 4 again. And look, I see what the final trick is. If we look down column 2, we already got the 5 here, so that resolves the final ambiguity. Beautiful puzzle, as always, from Serkan. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant setter. So that looks correct to me. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let us know in the comments if you want to see more of these Japanese sums. If you're not subscribers, please consider subscribing. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back soon with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.